I've been doing this a long time, you know. I've made dozens of builds with my own hands. I've seen building trends come and go, but every now and again I like to look back, remember where I came from, remember where I started. And as I gaze upon these old creations, these early works of mine, I can't help but think to myself, what was I thinking? Today I want to rediscover and transform some of the first Minecraft builds on my channel, going all the way back to 2021, release 1.17. With years more skill and experience, not to mention modern building tools like Axiom, I really think we can make a world of difference to these projects. And most importantly of all, I think this will be a really fun trip back into the past. Who knows what we're gonna find? This is a world I created all the way back in 1.17. Looking back at this old terrain generation, like, what was going on here? These mountains suck. If you look off in the distance, you may see a couple other of my very, very old builds, but today we're here to focus on one thing. My good old original steampunk airship. As it currently stands, this is the very first build I have on my channel, and I was genuinely really proud of this at the time, but looking back on it, it's not aged very well. Why did I use so many weird little objects on the railings here? It's so over detailed with the anvils and the chains and the flower pots. Like, the front is way too small and skinny and the rest of the body is way too big and bulky, and there's no propulsion on the back. There is technically an interior, but I mean, it's yeah. This all goes to say we've got a lot of work to do here. First thing I want to do after making a copy of this build is addressing the balloon situation. These balloons are just not large enough. Maybe I was too lazy to build a big balloon by hand, because I definitely wasn't using tools back then, but with Axiom we can really quickly spawn in a huge wool shape and then customize it to our liking. Next up, I went through and added a few smaller balloons, you know, touched up some details, and then I finally tackled that old goofy orange hull, stretching it out, adding some more width and curves and some much needed details and engines. Totally transformed this thing into what I would say is a passable build for 2025. And oh my god, what an improvement here. Like, hold on, just real quick, 2021, 2025. It's a world of difference. I wanted to keep some of the general, design ideas like the multiple balloons, the orange hull, the weird bits dangling down on the bottom, and I do have all of those, right? We've got them there and here and all that, but what I vastly improved on, in my opinion, is just the shape and the logicalness of all of it. This airship now actually has propulsion. We've got these really cool glass particle effects coming off of these engines, which, you know, are small, but this hull isn't that big in the first place. All the different parts of the airship are properly connected using the illegal lever diagonal beam block technique that definitely I was not doing back in 2021. And I only used acacia wood. Like, I didn't use any red sandstone. I didn't use any copper for some reason. This entire thing is just one dull, ugly shade of orange. Compare that with the modern airship, right? We've still got acacia wood, of course. It is the hull of a ship after all, but we've got plenty of copper. We've got some smooth red sandstone. We've even got just a lot more details to make the shape more interesting. On the actual balloon here, you know, it's kind of hard to see because it's dark, but we're using black stone down here, dark oak wood, into stripped dark oak, even into mangrove and spruce up here. Just really, really nailing down that kind of light side, dark side kind of vibe. You know, this is using white wool, which of course is still very bright, but it's certainly not as bright as the powder snow up here. But just overall speaking, this is a vast improvement. This next one's a bit more recent. Still super old, but not quite one of my first builds. And more importantly, we're going to be working with a lot of organics and terraforming, not something we really touched at all with that airship. This, gamers, is my original Japanese build all the way back from 1.18. I'm not gonna lie, this one kinda aged better than I thought it was going to. Like, I think these pagodas have genuinely held up really well. There is very little I would change here. The shape is nice, I love the custom banners, the interiors are frankly spot on. Like, I was cooking with these old builds, I'm not gonna lie. The same can't be said, though, for the trees. What kind of cotton candy, neon pink sort of nonsense is this? What was I doing? The garden I have mixed feelings about. I do really like this yin and yang shaped pond. I think this is really cute, but the surrounding area is just so over detailed. I hate to use this word because I kind of disagree with it on principle, but this is block vomit, guys. Like, this is block vomit. Not necessarily because of overuse of textures, but just there's no rhyme or reason here. Like, there's no rules as to where the stone goes, where the bamboo goes, where the leaves go. It's just a whole mess that needs a lot of cleanup. So first things first, I'm getting rid of the trees, getting rid of the clutter, actually just turning this place into a proper cherry biome with cherry wood, because that just straight up didn't exist when I made this build. And then I'm gonna expand this landscape a lot. Copy paste the temples, add in some texture to the ground, and now we have a proper bamboo forest. And then, of course, we gotta add back in the trees, this time with a bit more skill involved, and of course, the help of Axiom. And wow, what a change. If you remember, one of the things I complained about the most, especially about right here, was the lack of rules when it came to the organics and the environment. And from here, it's very clear that I'm really adhering to some strict rules, right? Like, we've got two kinds of block in the ground. We've got the grass and we've got the moss. And you'll notice that rather than scattering this bamboo just randomly across the terrain, they grow in little clusters. They always grow on the moss. On the grass blocks, you're only gonna get tall grass. You're not gonna get any of this other foliage here. And over by the pond, right, we are keeping a little bit of the details, right, like the wooden pathway, but we've really thinned down the amount of clutter and details here. You know, we've kept some of the rocks, but for the most part, it's a lot more clean, it's a lot more presentable, it's a lot less of a chaotic landscape, right? There's less colors, there's less of a mishmash of textures. Adherence to some sort of rule, some sort of design language is incredibly helpful, not only for simplifying your build, but just giving you an idea of how it's supposed to look. And you know, thinking about those trees some more, not only have my trees gotten so much better since then, but the way people build trees has changed a lot too. You didn't see these kinds of illegal block techniques back in the day. Really makes you wonder what the future of custom trees is going to look like. Next up, I want to... Hey. That's weird. You seeing this? Very interesting bit of terrain generation here. You wanna take a look at the next build? I'm gonna see what's up with this grove. Next up, it's about time we revisit my old cyberpunk city. Oh my god, this build has not aged well. It's okay. Sort of. It's really meant to be viewed from the street level, especially if we go ahead and set it to night and put on some rain. It definitely looks better this way, but it still doesn't look great. I'm not really sure what I was going for with the copper roofs. Like, of course, this is meant to be, you know, market stalls, like some sort of very cyberpunky night market. It kind of gets the vibe right, but the texture choices need a lot of work. But now with Axiom allowing us to manipulate display entities so much more easily, I think I want to incorporate a whole bunch of those into making like proper market stalls, you know, making like little bowls and bits of furniture, and just trying my best to really add detail in a way to this build that I just couldn't back in 1.17. Before I do any of the detailing work though, we gotta add in some more big looming buildings in the background. I really want to get that sense of like epic scale when you're walking around in the streets. And then I got to work with the display entities. You can see here I'm having a blast coming up with different ideas for what would be sold in a market stall, right? Like food, drinks, supplies, technology and whatnot, even a couple vending machines off to the side. And yes, we have a melon stand. I did another pass to add some more light and signs and vibrancy to the background buildings, and then the transformation was complete. And let me tell you, I have so much fun working with display entities. Like, it's genuinely so cool. It can be very tedious and it can absolutely take a long time, but when the end result is stuff like this, like these little stalls that are so full of detail and creativity, and with how much you can really push the limits of what's possible in vanilla Minecraft, like, it's just so cool. And yes, I know a lot of the larger buildings are, you know, what I really made a night and day difference. What have I been up to? Well, this grove, it's just, hey, what's with the, dude, I'm trying to, hey, what? Where am I? Well, hi.
You always been here.
What? No, I've been,
Are you sure? I'll see you in here.